Prime tonight. NAFDAC seeks death sentence for fake drug dealers. On the business, FCCPC probes the high cost of drugs across Nigeria. And the forces, Zelensky says no security guarantees agreed yet in a draft mineral deal with United States. Out of sport tonight, Liverpool slots ban for 2 matches after the big clash. Hello and welcome to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Adik Michael. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nicomsat. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of a broadcast. And our National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has called on the National Assembly to expedite action on the amendment of the NAFDAC Act and counterfeit and fake drugs and unwholesome processed foods of C-34 Act to include life sentence and capital punishment in the penalties for such crimes. Addressing State House correspondent at the Presidential Villa, the agency Director General, Professor Mijisola Adeye, said the call became imperative as many Nigerians are dying on a daily basis due to the consumption of fake drugs and unwholesome processed foods. Speaking specifically on the ongoing enforcement operation in the open drug markets of our area and Ezioku market in Aba, a Bridgehead market in Onitsha, and Idomota drug markets in Lagos, the DG said 87 truckloads of banned, expired, unregistered, falsified, and substandard medical products had been so far removed from over 7,000 shops screened in the three markets. The Nigerian Senate has commenced a probe of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan's conduct during plenary last Thursday. I referred the issue to its Committee on Ethics and Privileges and Committee on Code of Conduct and Public Petitions. The issue began when Senator Yemi Aderamodu, chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Publicity, raised a point of order. Gerwin Sunday has the details.
Chairman Senate Committee on Media and Publicity, Senator Yemi Aderamodu, expressed concern about the misleading media report regarding the event that unfolded in the Senate last week. He emphasized the need to protect the integrity and future of the Senate.
And I'm narrowing it to Mr. Senate President versus the Senator, which is not so. Because our guiding rules, which is our testament and our catechism, our own Bible and our own Quran, which we all subscribe to religiously, embodies and epitomizes the whole Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Any action against it is an action against the Senate. It's not an action against the Senate President. Mr. President, sir, we were told when we were growing up as toddlers that where there is no law, there is no sin.
The Senate leader, Okpeyemi Bamidele, Minority Leader, Abba Moro, and Senator Jimo Ibrahim, among others, lamented over the conduct displayed by Senator Akpoti-Uduaghan on the fateful day and recommended that the matter be referred to its appropriate organ for further investigation.
Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan being asked to move to another seat is nothing that has to do with gender, is nothing that has to do with hatred, is nothing that has to do with any form of malice. For the record, let me say again, distinguished Senator Adamu Alero, who had been governor for 8 years, who had been honorable minister, and who is one of the most ranking senators in this Senate today, was asked to move his seat. And he didn't make any issue out of it. We had a reason to change the seat of His Excellency distinguished Senator Aminu Waziri Tambuwal.
I'm at the back seat, but I can lend my voice. In fact, Mr. Senate President, the former Senate President, very distinguished Senator Ahmed Lawal, is at the very back seat after my own. Look at my own seat. Look at his own seat. And he's not complaining. He will raise up his hand with respect here, and will still go there to bow for his respect, because he's a man of integrity.
Despite of some provocations, in spite of some offenses, Mr. President, we ask you to tolerate some of our actions that are not in tandem with democratic and parliamentary practices. These things once in a while will occur, but please, we want to ask that while we are referring this matter to a relevant committee, let us ponder on the drama that unfolded on that day and see how we can mitigate against the possible consequences on the integrity and the image of this institution so that we can move forward in the interest of this country.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, reminded lawmakers of the importance of adhering to the rules, citing Order 66, subsection 2 and section 55 of Senate rules. He underscored that all senators must conduct themselves with decorum, including prohibitions on chewing gum, drinking water, or being disruptive during sittings.
Those in support that the disorderly conduct of our colleague, distinguished Senator Natasha Uduaghan, we referred to the Senate Committee on Ethics and Privileges for necessary further action. Say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. So the matter is hereby referred to the Committee on Ethics and Privileges, and
Senators voted to approve that the issue be referred to the Ethics Committee for investigation and to report back to the Senate in 2 weeks. Godwin Sunday, reporting for Global TV News.
Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission has issued its notice of polls for the area council elections in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Elections are set to take place on February 21st, 2026, starting at 8:30 a.m. across all polling units within the territory. INEC emphasized that only eligible voters with valid permanent voters cards and whose names appeared on the register of voters will be allowed to cast their ballots. Now, the detained leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has urged Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, to intervene in the reassignment of his case following the recusal of Justice Binta Nyako from his trial. Kanu, in a later appeal to the CJN to direct the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice John Tosho, to transfer his case to another judge with the requisite jurisdiction. His late counsel, Alo Ajimoka, said that Justice Nyako rescued herself from the case on September 24, 2024, following Kanu's request on grounds of alleged bias. Now, Kayode Betukan, the Inspector General of Police, has commanded the Commissioner of Police in Osun State, Mohammed Abba, for ensuring a peaceful and secure environment during the state's local government election. In a statement by the CSP, Yemishi Ogbalola, police spokesperson in Osun, Betukan gave the commendation during a visit to the police command. Ogbalola said the IGP was in Osun to supervise and gained a first-hand view of the situation in the state concerning the recently conducted local government election. And now, the 19 northern umbrella bodies of the Christian Association of Nigeria, also known as CAN North, have pledged their commitment to the body of Christ in being at the forefront of advocating for the rights and freedoms of Christians in northern Nigeria. And this development is coming on the heels of the calls for more Christian spiritual representation in the North in order to bring renewed energy and focus to Northern CAN's activities and advocacy effort. Going Sunday has a report.
The Northern Christian Association of Nigeria, Northern CAN, has inaugurated 19 new executives to steer the affairs of the organization. Speaking to newsmen in a press conference in Abuja to mark the first official outing of the new ESCO, the chairman spoke on the significance of the inauguration towards promoting Christian interest and welfare in the region amidst the long-standing leadership challenges facing the Christian body in northern Nigeria.
It is our responsibility to stand for justice, to be the voice of the voiceless, and to advocate for the right of all citizens. We will partner with our national CAN, our regional CAN, our state chapters of CAN. We will also partner with civil society, government entities, and other faith groups to ensure that every person, regardless of their background, has access to the opportunity and protection they deserve.
In the days to come, the conversation will largely be centered around Khan being at the forefront of advocating for the rights and freedom of Christians in northern Nigeria.
This new leadership of Khan in 19 northern states is going to serve the northern Christians in Nigeria with integrity, honesty, courage, and love for all. Yesterday, during my acceptance speech, I said, and I want to repeat, if there is a term for office and it starts on a particular day, then when the date ends, you must leave and allow another person to do.
I am Godwin Sunday, reporting for Global Television News.
And now the federal government took further steps to address some of the challenges militating against improved access to safe water and sanitation in the country by inaugurating the Medina Annual Water Quality Conference. The conference with the theme Safe Water for Sustainable Public Health was intended to serve as a platform that assembles relevant stakeholders to deepen their engagement in mitigating the pressing issues of water quality management in Nigeria and to develop actionable strategic action plans towards securing safe water for all. And in furtherance of the effort at enhancing Nigeria's primary health care subsector, the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, has met with partners and critical stakeholders in the primary health care Memorandum of Understanding and Dissemination Program. The MOU is designed to strengthen primary health care systems by improving the routine immunization, disease surveillance, service delivery, and governance. Shana J has the details.
Deputy Governor of Gombe State, Manasseh Jatau, emphasized the need for more partnerships in facilitating the healthcare system, noting that there is need for the sponsorship of researchers to produce a vaccine in the country in order to limit costs of medicine importation.
I believe that there is a compelling need to sponsor researchers to produce medicines and vaccines for our all local plants that we have here. At any rate, all the imported drugs are from plants. And based on my travel of this world, I've visited 66 countries. We have more plants, we have enough plants to produce vaccines that we need in this country.
Frowning at the United States declaration of a freeze on foreign aid and withdrawal from the World Health Organization (WHO), UNICEF's deputy representative of programs, Ronak Khan, called for a revitalization of healthcare system and optimal use of resources to help access proper health services.
Really reduce the reliance on others at all levels. What has happened by this US government decision has shook us to the core, but honestly, I think we knew this was coming because we cannot be forever rely on external support. All of us need to have our own ownership, our own accountabilities and own responsibilities as well.
The Primary Healthcare MOU is a 3-year partnership involving Gavi, the Federal Ministry of Health, UNICEF, and 8 states that comprise Bayelsa, Gombe, Jigawa, Katsina, Kebbi, Niger, Taraba, and Zamfara. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
You're still watching the News Prime. When News Prime returns, Ukraine Zelensky says no security guarantees agreed yet in draft mineral deals with the United States. We'll bring those details from the foreign scene as well, and more stories from business and sports. Please stay with us. We'll be right back.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
Welcome back and many thanks for staying with us. Now a quick look at the world of business as the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has summoned MultiChoice Nigeria over its planned subscription price increase set to take effect on March 1st, 2025. In a statement by Ondaje Ijagu, Commission's Director of Corporate Affairs, it expressed concerns over the current price hikes in the Nigeria's pay TV industry, warning against possible anti-competitive practices and market exploitation. Now, the Secretary General of the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, Hatham Haugas, has tasked Africa to unlock its proven oil reserves of over 120 billion barrels. Inside these are the 8th edition of the Energy Summit in Abuja, with the theme Bridging Continents, Connecting Investors with Africa's Energy Potential. Away from that, now to the foreign scene. Hong Kong stocks resume their impressive start to the year as they rocket more than 3% on the back of a surge in the tech firms fueled by the fresh optimism over the sector in China. The rally led gains across most of Asia's markets, with investors shifting back to buy the mood following the poor start to week sparked by the fresh United States tariff. It concerns that our traders brush off another disappointing day on the Wall Street following more data showing consumers in the world's top economy who are losing confidence. Ukraine's President Zelensky says there are no security guarantees yet in a mineral deal between Ukraine and the United States. Ukrainian officials say a deal to share some of the Ukrainians' minerals wealth with the U.S. is agreed, and President Trump says he expects Zelensky to visit the U.S. to sign the deal this week. But Zelensky, speaking in Kiev, says he still wants security guarantees and the initial deal is more of a framework. The Army Allied Health Ministry says at least 19 people were killed when a Sudanese military transport the plane crashed into a residential neighborhood. On the Khartoum's outskirts, the Atom aircraft went down night near the Wadi Sadr Bay base, one of the Army's largest military hubs in Omdurman and North capital. The Army, which has been at war with the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces since April 2023, said the plane crashed during the takeoff, killing and injuring both military personnel and civilians. And now to sport news. Super Eagles captain William Ekong has hinted that this year's Africa's Cup of Nations in Morocco could be his last. The experienced defender, who has previously featured at the 2019, 2021 as well as 2023 editions of the tournament, stated this position in the podcast. Ekong led Nigeria to the final of the 2023 AFCON and was named the tournament's MVP, man of the match. Now, Liverpool's manager Arne Slot was billed to be absent from the touchline for Wednesday's home game against the Newcastle after receiving a 2-match suspension and a hefty fine for his actions during the Merseyside derby. The controversy arose after James Stope anytime equalizer secured 2-2 draw for Everton at Goodison Park on February 12, leading to the chaotic scenes. Now, referee Michael Oliver set off Slot, his assistant Spike, and Liverpool's Curtis Jones and Everton's midfielder Theo Kieran. Wrapping up on sport, Real Madrid have left Kylian Mbappe out of their squad to face Real Sociedad in the Copa del Rey semi-final first leg on Wednesday owing to the dental problem. A French superstar did not train with his teammate on Tuesday ahead of the game, but the coach Carlo said the striker will travel to San Sebastian. Mbappe is Real Madrid's leading goal scorer with 28 goals in 39 matches across all competitions this season. And before we wrap up on the news, let's take a look at our major stories. We told you earlier that the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has called on the National Assembly to expedite action on the amendment of NAFDAC Act and counterfeit and fake drugs and also processed foods. And the business, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has summoned MultiChoice Nigeria over its planned subscription price increase set to take effect on March 1st, 2025. And unfortunately, we told the Ukraine's President Zelensky says there are no security guarantees yet in a mineral deal between Ukraine and the United States. And the sports, Liverpool manager Arne Slot will be absent from touchline for Wednesday's home game against Newcastle after receiving a 2-match suspension and a heavy fine for his actions during the derby. And that's a package here on News Prime. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and sometimes channel 276. Free to our Nikon site. You can follow us on social media platform now using @GlobalTVNG. You can also download the Global TV Nigeria app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. I am Deacon Mike. Many thanks for watching and staying with us here on News Prime. See you again.